Welcome to the fourth episode of our Python course series. And today we are going to learn about lists and list methods in Python. Lists are one of the most common and useful data types in Python. A list is an ordered collection of values that can be of any type, such as integers, floats, string, booleans, etc. You can create a list by using a square bracket and separating the values by commas. For example, numbers. This line creates a Python list named numbers containing a sequence of integers from 1 to 5. Similarly, this line creates a Python list named fruits containing a sequence of strings representing different fruits names such as apple, banana, orange, and grape. We can have list of mixed data types also. For example, so the above line creates a Python list named mixed that includes a variety of data type such as boolean, true, a floating point number 3.14, a string called sumantra, and another list with having elements 1, 2, 3. So we can create an empty Python list with no elements with empty square brackets. You can access and modify individual elements or slices using indexing and slicing. Indexing and slicing work the same way as they do for strings, except that you can assign new values to the elements or slices. To do indexing and slicing, you need to use square brackets after the list name and provide the index or slice expression inside them. In Python, indexing starts from 0, which means the first element of a list has the index 0. The second element has the index 1, and so on. You can also use negative indices to count from the end of the list starting from -1. So let's see some examples. So we already have created a list called numbers containing integers from 1 to 5. So this will print the first element or index 0 of the numbers list, which is 1. So this will print fourth element or index 3 of the numbers list, which is 4. So this will print the last element or index -1 of the number list, which is 5. One more. So this will print fourth element from the end, index -4 of the number list, which is 2. So list slicing works by providing two indices separated by a colon, which indicates the start and end of the position of the slice. The slice will include the element at the start position but exclude the element at the end position. You can also omit the start or end position, which means the slice will start from the beginning or end of the list respectively. For example, we already have a list of numbers. Numbers 1:4. Over here, slicing is used to print a subsequence of the list numbers from index 1, which is inclusive, to 4, which is exclusive, resulting in 2, 3, 4. So this slices numbers from the beginning, which is index 0, up to index 3, which is exclusive, producing 1, 2, 3. So this line slices the numbers list from index 4 to the end, only printing 5. So this simply slices the numbers from start to end and essentially creating a shallow copy of the list and prints the entire list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also provide a third index after another colon, which indicates the step size of the slice. The step size determines how many elements to skip between each element in the slice. The default step size is 1, which means no skipping. You can use a positive step size to go forward or a negative step size to go backward. Let's see some examples. So we already have a list of numbers. So numbers, start, end, and step 2. So this prints every second element in the list, resulting 1, 3, 5. Start, stop, negative, index -1, which means indexing will start from the end of the list. So this basically print list numbers in reverse order, resulting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see one more example. Start 5, ending to the first index exclusive, step size -2. So this will print a subset of numbers starting from the fifth element and moving backward, taking every second element until reaching the second element, resulting in 5 and 3. You can use common list methods to perform various operations on list. List methods are functions that are attached to list using a dot operator and take some argument inside the parenthesis. List methods modify the original list in place, except for some methods that return a new list as a result, and do not return any value, again except for some methods that returns a value as a result. Let's see some of the list methods. So we already have a list of numbers having integer 1 to 5. Let's create another list of string. This will create a list named fruits containing 4 string elements. Let's see some list method. So first is append, which adds an element to the end of the list. Append. So this line appends the integer 6 to the end of the numbers list, and then it print the list, which now includes 6. Then let's see insert method. So insert method inserts an element at a given position in the list. So fruits insert. The line 4 will insert the string pear at the position 2, which is the third position in the fruit list. And then it prints the fruit list, which now includes pear at the third position. Now let's see the remove method. So remove method removes the first occurrence of an element from the list. So over here, numbers.remove 3 removes the first occurrence of integer 3 from the number list, and then print the number list, and we can see we don't have 3 in the list and it's removed. Next, pop method removes and returns the last element of the list or an element at a given position. So you can see the pop method removes and returns the last element, which is grape, from the fruit list and store it in the popped variable. And then it print the list fruits, which is now without grape. And if we print the popped variable, its value is grape. Let's see the sort method. So sort method sorts the list in ascending order or according to a given key or in reverse order also. So we already have a sorted list. So let's change it. 5, 3, 1, 2, 4. Print. So this numbers.sort sorts the number list in ascending numeric order, and the print number print the sorted list. So this fruits.sort reverse true sorts the fruit list in descending, means reverse alphabetical order, and the below line prints the sorted fruits list in descending order. Next method is reverse. Reverse method reverses the order of elements in the list. So if So let's set the list to default order. Let's run it. So this reverses the order of the elements in number list, and then we print the list, which is now in reverse order. Next is index function. So index function returns the index of the first occurrence of an element in the list or within a given slice. So index function returns the index of banana in the index variable from the fruit list, which is 1. And this will print the value of the index variable, which is 1. Next is count. So count returns the number of times an element occurs in the list. So numbers dot count, and let's print the return value. So it returns the number of times 2 occurs in the list, which is only 1. And then it prints out the count. You can use list comprehension to create new lists from existing ones. List comprehension is a concise and elegant way to create lists based on some condition or transformation. List comprehension works by using square brackets and a for loop inside them, followed by an optional if clause. The general syntax of list comprehension is new list assigned to within a square bracket expression for element in old list if condition. Python list comprehension is a way to create a new list by applying an expression to each element from an existing list, but only if the specified condition is met. It allows you to filter and transform data from one list into another with a single line of code, making your code more readable and efficient. Let's see some example of list comprehension. If you want to create a list which contains the square of each element of the list number. So square of each element of the list numbers. So you'll have first empty bracket. Then we'll have expression for item in list. So here the item is n, numbers list, and our expression is n to the power 2. That's it. So this line uses a list comprehension to create a new list called square. It iterates through each element n in numbers list and calculate the square. As a result, square contains the squared of the numbers from the numbers list. So if we print, so this will print the squares list to the console. The output will be 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, which are the squares of numbers in the numbers list. Now let's create a list of even numbers from numbers list. Expression for item in list if condition. So our item is n in the list number, and our expression is again the same number if n percentage 2 equal to 0, which basically means the number is divisible by 2. So basically this line uses list comprehension to create a new list called even containing elements from the numbers list that are divisible by 2. The print even will print the even list which contains the even numbers from the numbers list, resulting the output which are 2 and 4. Let's see one more example by creating a list of squares of the odd number. For that, let's rename it odd square. So for that, the expression will be square. So it will be n to the power 2. For n in numbers will remain same. The loop will remain same. And the condition should be n should not be divisible by 2. That's it. So the first line creates a new list called odd square by squaring each element of n in the numbers list, but only if n is not divisible by 2. That is, it's an odd number. And then the print statement will print the odd square list, which contains the square of odd numbers from the numbers list, resulting in 1, 9, 25 being displayed on the console. You can use nested list to represent two-dimensional data. Nested lists are lists that contains other lists as elements. You can create nested list by using a square bracket and separating the sublist by commas. For example, the first line will create a nested list of 3 sublists, each having 3 elements or 3 integers. So the first element is a sublist or a list which has 1, 2, 3 element. The second element of the list is again a list or a sublist which has 4, 5, 6 element. And the third and final has 7, 8, 9 elements. You can check it by running the print matrix statement. You can access or modify individual elements or slices of nested list using a double indexing or slicing. To do double indexing or slicing, you need to use a square bracket twice after the list name and provide the index or slice expression for the outer list and the inner list inside them. In Python, indexing starts from 0 for both the outer list and the inner list. You can also use negative indices to count from the end of the outer list or the inner list. For example, we have already created the list matrix. So matrix 0 will print the first element of the list, which is also a list. So it will print a list with element 1, 2, 3. Now to access the elements of the sublist or the inner list, we'll first access the outer list element. So matrix 1 will access the element which is a list which contains 4, 5, 6 element. And to access the element of the list 4, 5, 6, let's say we want to access the third element of the list which is 6. So we'll write square bracket again and put 2 inside it. And then when we run it, it will print 6. Similarly, matrix -1 will fetch the last element of the list, which is also a list, and also again -1 will fetch the last element of the inner list, which is 9. And if we check, it is returning the 9. Now we can assign inner values of the nested list using double square bracket. For example, the first element of the inner list can be modified by assigning matrix 0, 0 to 10. And again, if we print the matrix, you'll see the modified list, which instead of 1, 2, 3 as the first element has 10, 2, 3 as the first element. So slicing works by providing 2 indices separated by a colon, which indicate the start and end position of the slice. The slice will include the element at the start position, but exclude the element at the end position. You can also omit the start or end position, which means the slice will start from the beginning or end of the outer list or the inner list respectively. So for example, we already have a list created, nested list matrix. So if we say print matrix start, stop and step, and then we run it, so it will print every other element of the list from the whole list, because we have not specified starting and ending position. So now copy it once more. And if we add square bracket 1 before this index slicing operation, so if we run it, we'll see that first we'll access the second element of the matrix list, which is also a sublist, and then we'll access every other element of the 3 element matrix sublist, which is 4 and 6. Again, if we see start. So this basically same as reversing the outer list or reversing the elements of the outer list. So we'll have 7, 8, 9 first, then 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3. And if we add 1 within a square bracket, then it will first access the second element of the list, and then it will reverse the second element of list. So it will print 6, 5, 4. Now that you have learned about lists and list methods in Python, it's time to practice your skills with some hands-on exercise. In this exercise, you will be given a task to write a program that uses the concept that we have learned today. You can use any of the variables, data type, operators, and type conversion functions that we have learned earlier. You can also use input functions to get the user input as a string and print function to display the output. Have fun coding. So today's exercise is write a program that takes a list of numbers as an input from user, separated by commas, and prints the sum and average of the numbers using list methods and arithmetic operator. So let's jump into the solution right away. So our first step is to get the list of numbers as a string from the user input. So numbers, input, enter a list of numbers. Next, we'll use split method, which we have learned in the earlier chapter, which will split the string by commas and convert each element to a float using list comprehension. So numbers, so we'll have expression for item in list. So our list is created using split function. So we'll call numbers.split on comma character, which will create a list of numbers. These are the list of numbers. And we have to convert this number, which are in character string, to float by using the type conversion function. Now we'll calculate and print the sum using sum method. And then we'll print the sum using f string. The sum is curly braces sum. Then we'll calculate and print the average using len method and backslash or division operator. So average is sum divided by number of elements in the list, which is length of numbers. We'll print using f string. The average is average. Now let's run it. 45, 23, 20. The sum is 88 and the average is 29.33. Let's try another. Minus 11, 11, 10, 11, 20. The sum is 30 and the average is 7.5. So this concludes our session for today. We have learned about list and list methods in Python. In the next lesson, we'll explore Python tuples and sets. If you have any questions or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning into Sumantra Codes, and if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more coding tutorial, tips and tech insights. Hit the notification bell too, and let's continue this coding journey together. Thank you.